So yeah, so Bitcoin.com is launching their own DeFi token called Verse, and I think the way they're doing this is very interesting because it's chain agnostic. Is that the?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. It's running. It's going to run on several different chains. So, but the token is going to be the same. They've made it so that all of the coins are going to be created up front, and the token.
Did you say blockchain.com?
No, Bitcoin.com.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Is that Roger Ver?
Yes, Roger Ver's website, and so Roger Ver is another person that I think is one to follow because of what he believes in. Not to mention the fact that he doesn't need any more money, and he is very passionate about creating money for the world, free money for the world, uncensorable money, and increasing freedom, and that's what motivates him. To me, I can quite plainly tell that is what motivates him, and so it's not a project that's made to rip people off. So all of the coins are created as soon, like they're all going to be created in an instant, and then they're going to be released over time. So you're not going to get this step function where loads of the early investors get this massive load of crypto of this token, and then they sell it all. So it's a very common thing in the industry that, you know, a token could be going very well, and then all of a sudden the early investors get this massive payout, and all of a sudden the price dumps. So it's got a smooth, continuous emission.
You told me about this. I think I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, including to the people that will invest. Like, so I think this is the Series B investment. So, and this is the people that you can get whitelisted now at Bitcoin.com. This is definitely not financial advice, and you should definitely look into it yourself. But what really interests me about it is that it's going to be the fees from the exchange on Bitcoin.com, as well as the fees from the DeFi, the Verse DeFi platform. They are going to be buying this token, so that's potentially a lot of demand. And so I forget now. I think it's those tokens that are bought. Oh yeah, that's it. They're burned. So there's constantly going to be this diminishing supply. So I think it's 520 billion is going to be created all up front in one go, and then released over time. So you are going to have this like slow releasing of it, and it is going to be increasing in the total supply. But at the same time, you've got this exchange and this DeFi platform that is going to be constantly buying and destroying those coins. So it is going to deflate, and especially once it gets to that 7-year point, it's only going to be going down, and it's always going to be having this buy pressure from the exchange. And I just think that's brilliant. I think the way it's being done, I'm really excited about it, and it's really making me think, like, especially since it's chain agnostic. That's definitely the wrong word. It doesn't care what chain it's on. It's going to start off on Ethereum, but it's then going to be on Avalanche and all these other EVM. EVM is a Ethereum virtual machine. It's the smart contracts platform that runs on top of these blockchains. And so it makes me think, so that this has got utility in the sense that it's for this decentralized exchange. It's got this inbuilt demand into it, which can and will accelerate.
So the purpose of the burning, it sounds like they're trying to stabilize price during sort of distribution. As it sort of gets out into the market, they're trying to stabilize the price and not make it too volatile as it sort of permeates the crypto sphere.
I think it's just to create this general downward pressure on the price. It's a very common thing now for cryptos to constantly be buying, like especially with fees, buying and destroying. Like in Avalanche and in Ethereum, a portion of the fees that are charged for the transactions are burned. So I think Ethereum is actually, despite the fact that there's Ethereum being created and given to the miners and given to the stakers, and soon it's going to be merging to just staking. Despite that fact, it's actually going down. The number of Ethereums in circulation is going down because of this burning. So it's a deflationary. Deflationary is the wrong word, because deflationary just means the price goes up, but it's the supply is going down, which is very interesting, isn't it?
Well, in the original sense of the terms inflation and deflation, that is exactly what it is, because inflation is increasing the supply and deflation is decreasing the supply.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Which means that you're incentivized to buy and hold. And so that can become a positive feedback loop, meaning that the price can go up over time. Not financial advice. I just think I think it's especially these days, it's not very often that you get to get in on a project this good, like early, and I think I kind of don't even want to talk about. I shouldn't have talked about it before it actually released. Mind you, I suppose no one's going to hear this, but
it's starting to sound like some financial. I want to buy it.
I think it's really good, but also I've listened to a couple of podcasts from Bitcoin.com with Corbin Fraser. And it sounds like it's a great project, and it's the fact. I suppose it comes down to trust, but it's like that. Roger Ver, I'm quite sure. I trust him. That's not. Now I say it's not a very good thing to say in the crypto space.
What makes him trust me? Sorry, what makes him trust me? What makes me trust him is that he's lost more money than a lot of people could ever dream of. Not as in like lost, like gambling it in the market, just by like. I think he got a lot stolen from him from a crypto exchange. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he put out a reward for that, didn't he? But he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
And that just makes me think that it doesn't bother him too much. He'd love to get it back and give consequences to the people who've done it, but he's clearly made an absolute mint in his life, and so the money is not what he's after. He has purpose, and I mean, you listen to the things that he says, and it all makes a lot of sense. But when you've got that backdraft of he doesn't need the money at all, it really does help you kind of trust him.
Yes. The only other thing with that is that, so I don't know if you ever saw an episode of Dragon's Den, and they would say they don't want to invest in someone that's on a crusade. They want someone with their head screwed on, and they're doing it to make money. And that's, I mean, the thing is, he's a wickedly smart businessman and an absolute operator.
But we want to invest in a crusader.
I'm not so sure. At least that's not my motivation. The reason why is because I'm sure that he's not trying to scam anyone, and he's been in the game a lot. I mean, he invested in some of the first, a lot of the first huge Bitcoin startups. He knows a thing or two about it, and he's also a Austrian economics kind of guy. He's
one of us.
He's one of us. Yeah, he's very well read in that department, and so it's because of his experience with that and the fact that I know he's not going to be trying to rip anyone off.
Christ, it'd be good to get him on a podcast, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that would be amazing. But at the same time, that doesn't guarantee its success, does it?
What?
The fact that he's trying to create the right incentive structure around this project, and I believe that he, like what he's doing with the release of the coins coming out gradually over 7 years, he is trying to do everything right, but that does not mean it's going to succeed, and that's why you have to think twice about it. To me, it does sound like the most advanced DeFi strategy that I've heard of so far. I mean, I in terms of the technicals of what's going to be going on that platform, I don't know. But in terms of the chain agnosticism, again, I really should stop using that word if I don't know what it means. It's because of that, and also the buying. I mean, crypto.com is huge. And so if the fees that are coming from the Crypto.com exchange, which isn't the DeFi platform, is going to be buying these from the get-go. It might not be from the get-go. I don't know. I need to probably make sure I know what I'm talking about. But that's quite huge. But it still doesn't guarantee success. I'm not sure what the X factor is that guarantees success. But I mean, you look at something like Trader Joe, and I think that the way...
What is Trader Joe for the listeners?
Trader Joe is the DeFi platform which is on Avalanche. I think it's the most popular. I'm pretty sure it's the most popular DEX. That's a decentralized exchange on the Avalanche platform. So, just to give a quick idea of what a decentralized exchange is. So, if you wanted to buy crypto and you wanted to buy it with your pounds or dollars, you have to send your money into a centralized exchange like Coinbase, and that's a company running an exchange. They've got both sides of the buy and sell, both sides of the market. So you can buy and sell your cryptos or your fiat, your pounds or dollars with confidence.
Is that a centralized exchange?
That is a centralized exchange, yeah. So they provide the liquidity in the market.
Yeah.
It's not like an order book exchange. So if you wanted to run a decentralized exchange, it's like where do you get the liquidity? You need to get people to put their own money in order to provide the liquidity to allow people to exchange on a decentralized platform. And so they've incentivized people to put their crypto into these DeFi platforms, these decentralized exchanges, so that people can trade. And you get paid in the DEX token. And so on Trader Joe, they have the Joe token. So you could put on you can even put Bitcoin on there, you can put Ethereum. Let's say you can put a couple, you have to put both of the tokens required for a market in equal amounts in, and then you will earn interest on that. And there's other things you need to think about, like impermanent loss, but it's so you can lose money, but you will gain interest, and that can vary massively. You can earn 10%, you can earn 1,000%. Usually if you're earning 1,000%, you're taking quite a risk. Anyway, that's what decentralized exchange is, and this is what we refer to as DeFi, which is decentralized finance. Trader Joe is a very good platform on the Avalanche network, and they have just got so many good features on there, and the website is so beautiful. It's just so beautifully done. I love it on there. But yeah, it's very advanced. Is Verse going to be as advanced as that? How long is it going to take them to get as advanced as that? I suppose in a lot of respects, like Trader Joe is like, I think they take a lot of concepts from other exchanges like Aave.
So what is Verse? Is Verse like Avalanche?
No, Verse is like Trader Joe.
And what network is it run on?
It's going to start on the Ethereum network, and then they're going to add it to like Avalanche. We're not certain. I don't know what the next platform is going to be. Personally, I wouldn't have even launched it on Ethereum first. I mean, it's too slow and it's too expensive. In my opinion, you need something that is faster, very quick transaction times, and cheaper. But at the same time, Ethereum's the biggest. It's got the most value locked into the chain. So they probably know better than me. It's Bitcoin.com at the end of the day. So yeah, it's basically like Trader Joe, and Verse is also the token. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. And this is what makes me think, is this stuff going to be more valuable than the platform tokens?
Is what stuff?
Like Verse. Are these decentralized exchanges? Imagine Trader Joe decides, right, we're going to launch on the Ethereum network and on Solana, if it works, I'm not sure. Or Elrond, EGLD, or any of these other DeFi platforms, FTM, Polkadot. I don't even know if Polkadot's ready yet. So yeah, once it's going to be available on all those. If Trader Joe did that, and it's had the same tokenomics, what would that do to the value of Joe? I don't know. I do know. I mean, it will go up a little bit, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they're sticking to Avalanche. So
what you're saying is, what would happen if they increased the demand, essentially, without expanding the supply of Joe?
Well, it will push the price up, won't it?
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're thinking with this Verse thing, is that the tokenomics is going to drive the price through the roof.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin.com, I mean, what a domain to have. They're going to be able to funnel traffic onto their decentralized exchange. Verse might be the first decentralized platform that people come into contact with. Think about that. Yeah. I think they've got 30 million wallets, the Bitcoin.com wallet. 30 million. So it's very interesting. It's very exciting. But I don't know everything about it. So, you've got to do your own research. But talking about research...
Have you had a look at a roadmap for this Verse?
Yes, I have, yeah. It's like everything else. I read it and I can't remember half of it. But I was impressed. They're very... I mean, it's so much focused on like the future of decentralized finance, or the future of free money.
And when
by
do you think
free,
they'll be...
not like you get it for free, but like you are free to use it as you will.
And when do you think they'll be releasing it?
So I think it was supposed to be June, and they delayed it because of the. They delayed it because of the turmoil in the markets, and there's a lot of projects that have been delaying certain aspects of their certain releases because of the turmoil that's going on in the markets. I'm not certain if that's the best way to play it. I mean, some of the things that have been delayed, I've been thinking, just bloody get on with it. But